We are live. We're live in 1080p, 1080 pixels, Andy.
On the Twitterverse as well. Already getting jammed for potential tech issues on my end.
I was
good.
you.
No. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good over here. My internet's great. Your internet's great. It's an amazing morning. I'm excited to talk some golf with you, man.
Yeah, our Discord was, I mean, it's always electric. There's ups and downs. You know, I was so tilting yesterday because my only salvation was if Bryson won, and then Kurt, I love him to death like a kid. He calls me dad. Kurt, of course, was just up in my grill with X and Vic Hovland. And so hey, listen, it's fun. It's the fun part of RPS, the fun part of Discord. And there's sports life already. Sports life, just why?
Don't get booted, man. This is my thing with
it's like
with
Andy,
Bob.
you tell him. I mean, tell him.
I do tell him, and I do tell him publicly, quite often.
It's not funny.
Don't get booted. We get what you're saying, and like everybody knows, and everyone can see and make their own conclusions about everything.
Yeah.
When you like straddle the line of funny, people like that, and you cross it too often. So stay on the
straddled that line.
Stay on the in my opinion, I'm a Baba fan. I know he's a polarizing figure in the Discord.
I'm a fan of everyone. I mean, not everyone likes me. I don't give a shit. If you don't like me, then you're stupid, right? I mean, that's what
yeah. So Baba, you know what to stay on the right line. And listen, if you decide to cross the line, we're confident you'll make another burner and join us again in another life.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So what we're dealing with now, the people on Twitter don't see the live chat on YouTube, but we're dealing with Discord family stuff. It's family stuff. Like, you know, it's just, it's nothing bad. It's just you get a bunch of guys who are betting golf and are tilted together. You're going to have some drama, and that's okay.
I embrace it. I think it's fun.
Unless you come after me, and then you're fucking gone because I'm the fucking prez.
Yeah, yeah. As long as you know, everybody, we're all on the same team here. So it's
Ghost Jam.
Everybody support each other.
Ghost Jam. People don't see it. I'll pull this up because I've got to pull it up because people on Twitter don't see this. We're gonna get 1,000. We're gonna get 1,200 people, Andy. We love you, Wiley. That is Ghost Champ is the Discord camp counselor. He is the guy who puts people to bed. He wakes them up. He makes them breakfast. Flex one for Wiley. I flex in Discord like shitty things. Like me having a 32-inch plasma TV and calling that a flex. And people thinking I'm serious. Nothing wrong with that, but anyway, let's move on. Matty Ice 704. Hey,
another great Discord member.
Great Discord. Matty Ice. The standard for comedic writing, and Saul had a banger today against Sports Life. The standard is pretty high, and Matty Ice did one last week that I think about twice a day. I can't say it publicly, but it was funny.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure I completely
had the live stream on the classroom. What, from prison?
Bob is a teacher.
Is he really? He said he just became an adult. I thought he was like 17.
Yeah, he's a teacher.
Okay, sorry, Bob. God bless you.
He's educating our youth on healthy Discord practices.
You know what? This is the best lesson your classroom can learn. Just have this on the entire time, and then just take a nap in class because we're going to teach them something, Bob. All right. So I know that. And by the way, I was walking around Lexington, Kentucky just now, Flex, and to a man, there are probably 70% of all males wearing a blue, like a powder blue Valhalla PGA Championship polo. Okay. And so
I
I
guess
put
they
that on.
didn't buy the. I guess they didn't buy the Fear the Post ones in shot
No.
after the Post played as the 6th easiest hole on the course.
Fuck you. No, but I put that on Twitter that it's, a classic blunder to wear the gear you got at the event on the Monday.
Yeah.
And then I figure it's Free Fowler on Twitter. He's a Corn Ferry Tour caddy, I think, in Lexington. Good dude. He got mad at me. He said, "You're just a course hardo too." I said, "No, I'm a fashion hardo. Like, you've got to let it breathe. You've got to give it one day before you wear the polo." You're the fucking Post Hewitt. That's right. But there was a very imbalanced, not to my side, attack on Valhalla last week. Okay. Even Kobe he has some bangers, and it went completely viral for just saying how shitty the course was. He drew a map.
Kobe hates that golf course.
This is Kobe, by the way. This is my Kobe. That's how I introduced Kobe. This is the hat. But Kobe drew a map of the United States and around basically Kentucky in the South and said none of these states have good golf courses. You missed Texas, you dum-dum. I have to defend Kentucky. I got so many DMs saying, "You need to defend Kentucky, boo this. I'm like, I don't give a shit too much. I love Valhalla.
Yeah.
I love Kentucky. Some golf people don't like the course. I don't care. There are 200,000 people there. They had fun, right?
Yeah.
The best players in the world won.
Yeah.
So what's your big T? Matthew W. can't talk. Let me tell you something about
Did you not go? Did you not go? Like, I was loving Big T Snapchats. He's taking pics with, his kids are getting autographs from the big golfers.
Because that's him.
You didn't.
He's
Wiley,
Mr. Out There Social.
Wiley, you're never getting a major championship in Kentucky again. They're never going back there.
I will bet you. Till the day we die,
I will bet you they are never going back to that golf.
Whatever. No,
they any amount of money, lifelong bet. But why did you go?
Well, the weekend I had solo dad duty with my youngest, so I could not go. But Thursday on the planned event that me and Big Anthony, Large Anthony, were supposed to go to, he didn't pick me up. He has the parking pass. He didn't pick me up. Just left old Prez just hanging out by himself. So, no, I'm not watching the couch. I'm in the office doing work like this. Get used to this, Big Tony. In September with football season. Anyway, your final thoughts on Valhalla.
Yeah, so I just want to set the record straight here on a couple things. I'll be relatively brief because the moral of the story is, like, listen, I am in the niche community of people that care about golf architecture. Okay. I have a lot of
I don't think it's niche. I think 80%.
Yeah. I would say that for the first time, like, I'm usually on an island and, like, this golf course is amazing. This golf course is bad. Here's why. There was a giant anti-Valhalla groundswell this week from people that I was not expecting whatsoever.
And let me tell you why. I pulled the microphone off its stand just for this. Let me tell you why. You know why? You want to know why? You want to know why Kobe's mad? You want to know why no laying up is mad?
Why?
Because Rory didn't win. If Rory won, all of you motherfuckers are coming to Lexington the next day. Thank you. Continue on. It was Rory.
I do think it had something to do more so with, at least for me, I can't speak for No Laying Up or any of the people that put out anti-Valhalla tweets or liked anti-Valhalla tweets. For me, it was more about shots of consequence and contours of certain green complexes, right? So the point is like, I know that nobody cares about that, okay? Like, I understand that. And I have a very niche audience of the people that listen to my podcast when I talk about golf architecture and love that stuff. And that goes the same thing with the fried egg And that goes the same thing with like the small amount of us that care about golf architecture and
Sure.
read books on golf architecture. And like
You
my
should've
life,
said read. You should have stopped and said, and just read books.
just read books. But yeah, like I've been studying this for my entire life. I spend my free time traveling across the country to go see different golf courses and play different golf courses. And I've I've made a good career out of it. Okay. So I'm not going to apologize for caring about architecture and that being my passion and my hobby and my thing. So I have massive criticisms about the architecture of Valhalla and how it tests pro golf. Okay. Which is its whole discussion, one discussion that has nothing to do with like the people of Kentucky, the atmosphere at the golf course, the city of Louisville, the part of the country, what time zone it's in, if the weather's good. I don't, that is the contours of the greens are not representative of the city of Kentucky. Okay. So I'm not doing this like Andy's anti-Kentucky. Listen, here's the thing.
Andy's
Okay.
anti-Kentucky.
Here's the thing. Los Angeles Country Club, LACC.
Answer that question. Answer that question first. Answer Brian's question.
Well, probably Crushers, because I fucking love Bryson, and
I love Bryson.
He almost won me a lot of money this week. But listen, I had to sit here while you got Los Angeles Country Club is like my favorite golf course in the country. That place is so special to me, and I had to sit here while you guys just murdered, absolutely took a grenade after grenade to LACC.
I call it cluster bombing. Yeah, because in my tweet, I went fucking crazy, right? I went just I said,
people thought you were subtweeting me, and I said, even if you were, that's good content.
No, it's great. I and your stupid hardo shit with your craft beers and
and your Redan greens.
Like, I kind of agree with you about the course, but why did I have to take shrapnel for craft beer liking? I said it's called cluster bombing, baby. You just get everyone pissed off. I mean, Kobe knows how to do it. It's an art.
It's an art. The content's an art. People are like,
I don't really care that much.
People are like subtweeting you like, hey man, like you realize you hired an architecture guy at your company. It's like, I think he does realize that. Yeah. I think he does realize that. But listen,
guess what? Motion scripted.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's not, listen, if they want to return there, and I do hope that Louisville and Kentucky gets another chance to host golf tournaments, just like Rochester did, right? Like, you want to go to these cities that don't have professional sports teams and are really good golf cities and golf towns, because you get a really great fan turnout. And that happened this week. But they're going to need to make some major changes to the golf course for them to return there. And I don't need to get into the weeds about what those changes would be, but I will just say, like, I think for me, it comes back to there needs to be a different mental examination and distinctive feel of major championships. And I think a lot of people outside of the architecture of the golf course, a lot of the reason why people started piling on Valhalla is because that's not what they're used to seeing at major championships. It played 260 shots easier than the easiest PGA championship in the history of majors. So when you get something that people are like, what the fuck? I only get 4 of these a year. I'm used to these guys being tested. I think that's what a lot of the backlash came from.
I totally agree. And had Lee Hodges won, I would have been on your team.
Yeah.
But he didn't win, and you had the best golfers in the world win. So it kind of covered it a little bit for me. Would I've liked it about -11? Yeah. Was the course really soft? Yeah.
By the way, nothing they could do. Like,
yeah, sorry, we can't turn off the rain machine.
Yeah.
And it was
nothing.
By the way, what's solicited that tweet, which was a banger, by the way, was nothing about you, obviously. Yeah, I saw a tweet. I saw a tweet from
even if it was, I would have welcomed it.
Of course, it's great. I love. Listen, they bash my skull in the Discord. I don't care. It's fun. Imagine guy knows his stuff. Yeah, of course, Andy knows his stuff. That's why he's here.
Thanks,
Brock.
Thank you,
Brock Erickson.
Thank you, Brock.
Yeah,
I genuinely appreciate that. It was another good week, so
yeah.
I appreciate that, Brock. Thank you.
Yeah, join RPS. Code Wiley77 for 15% off.
Or Andy, 15.
I told Captain to set me up a code so I can trump yours.
So you can compete with mine.
Yes, because it costs
code
me
Wiley
money
76. Code Wiley77 for 16% off. Take that, Andy.
Yes.
Andy 15.
Here are the thing, and we'll go to Colonial, so Kyle can be happy here in a second. The thing that will bring a tournament back to Kentucky, whether it be Ryder Cup or a major, is absolute guaranteed dollars, right?
Yeah.
That it's money. Follow the money. That's business, baby. I mean,
that's why the PGA is about their bottom line. And so the PGA sold a lot of tickets this week.
Oh my God. The biggest problem was the Scheffler thing, which was like incomprehensible to me. Well, I could comprehend it because if you get arrested by the state police in certain parts of Kentucky, good luck.
Yeah.
They own you. That was unreal. I won't get into it. We could cross the line into politics. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But it was even more surreal the next day. What
I want to ask, like, really briefly, because I just did a podcast with a reporter from The Athletic that was there that day. Yep. And she was telling me it was like the most wild experience on the grounds that you could have ever imagined. Were you around in Lexington that day? Had it kind of permeated off the golf course into everything? Was kind of everyone buzzing about it?
I woke up and rubbed my eyes and saw the video, and I literally said, fuck, here we go. Because I've just seen that a lot. The reaction, the incident, and seeing Scottie in a jumpsuit. I mean, there was probably no piece of content in golf that could ever trump Tiger Woods getting arrested, the drug incident, all of his stuff, and then they did it. What I'm pissed off about here is that Kentucky created the most memorable photo of the best golfer in our generation forever. Yeah. The dude is 27.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Wiley pulled some strings to get Scottie arrested since he full faded.
Yeah, we're getting into race here now in the chat. Kyle's egging us on. He said, "Okay, first do politics."
I pulled it to get him out because I did bet him. Thank you.
First do politics, then start talking about religion, and then you guys can get to Colonial.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think politics. The thing that was religion. Yeah, I think the thing that was funny about the whole Scottie situation, not funny, but prescient, maybe it touched on all of these larger cultural issues, right? It was a smorgasbord of hotbed political, social, recreational, athletic topics all converging at the exact same time. And I think what it actually did, Wiley, is it made Scottie Scheffler a star. I really do think that it wasn't winning the Masters for the second time. It wasn't winning 4 out of his last 5 starts. It wasn't winning the Players in the Masters in the last, year. I mean, this was the only day in my life outside of June 6th, the framework agreement, what a mess, where I was flooded with texts from so many non-golf people. And there were, it was the best day on golf Twitter that I've ever been a part of. where I actually think that like Scottie permeated through the larger cultural ecosystem and became a
Yes.
superstar, in my opinion.
Superstar. You go
Yeah.
out and shoot 66 after being in prison. But what are you shooting at Valhalla? And if you say 72, I'm gonna
No,
walk to LA.
no.
This is we'll get to Colonial now, but this is the guy who called me a golf hardo because I said all of the guys in Lexington are wearing shirts. Fashion hardo, Free Fowler. All right, so Hobie drew a map around the United States and said these are all the golf courses that suck, including all of Kentucky. But he forgot Texas. Now, Texas swing sucks. Maybe outside of Colonial, right?
Yeah.
Which is this week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it. I mean, it's a tough course.
I like it.
Describe it for me right now.
So, I think we're already at an advantage this week because a lot of previews are not even acknowledging the fact that the course just got completely bulldozed. Okay. So, last year after the final putt dropped in 2023, Gil Hanse, who I think is, maybe my favorite architect doing it right now. I mean, this
Who's
is
your
the
least
guy
favorite
that's
architect? Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicklaus is up there. I mean, probably like Reese Jones, Jack Nicklaus, are not my favorites. But Gil Hanse, this is the man behind restoring masterpieces like Southern Hills and LACC and the Country Club at Brookline, Winged Foot, all of these classical golf courses that have hosted major championships. He's also did a restoration on Sleepy Hollow, Yale Golf Course, Fisher's Island. I mean, the list goes on. Gil Hanse him? Yeah, I think he's like the GOAT doing it right now. Original designs include a Hoopy, LACC South, Streamsong Black. I mean, the guy does incredible work. So Colonial's in good hands. Point being, who cares about that? How does it affect how we're breaking down the golf course, right? So I'm not going to give away like all of the things that I think are going to change. And I don't listen. His job was not to create a different golf course or make the golf course play easier or harder. He's the master of subtlety, right? His job was to restore the golf course to how it originally played in 1936, the original Perry Maxwell design. So, point being, I do think that like there's some changes to the golf course this week, some things I'm factoring differently in my model. And ultimately at the end of the day, Colonial plays firm and fast. We're going to get some wind in the forecast this week. It's got very small greens. Okay. You're controlling short irons to small, firm greens. And I'm really always looking at, I talked about this at Sawgrass, but like, this is a week where recent approach play above all else really prevails. Like you really want to identify the best short iron players in this field and the types of guys that have had success on these shorter golf courses with smaller greens.
Yeah. And what I've always known about this course, length, not an issue. Mm-hmm. You have to hit fairways and you have to hit certain section of fairways because of these overhanging pecan trees, not pecan trees, you Canadian spuds. I know this. I used to have to say pecan when I was in Canada. That's what they say, pecans. It's pecans trees. But then you get the type of players who are point A to point B who win this tournament, who are good scramblers. Kevin Na, Justin Rose, Kevin Kisner, Chris Kirks, Griot won last year. The Matt Kuchar types.
Yeah, Justin Rose. Yeah, Daniel Berger even. Yeah.
Well, and then Daniel Berg's in the field this week, and he is ascending a little bit. There's a price envelope in the sevens there that has all the guys we're going to like. Postons, Bergers. Yeah. But the thing about this place, too, is Fort Worth is hot as fuck.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of these guys coming from Kentucky, 4 days. I can't believe Scheffler's in the field. They haven't dropped the charges. He has an arraignment on June 3rd in Kentucky. So despite the reporting out there that these charges are dropped, they're not dropped. So that's got to be weighing on his mind, right? I mean, you could see the adrenaline shift on Saturday, right? Like Friday, he played 5 under. His heart rate was up. He admitted that my adrenaline was running, and then you had the hangover of adrenaline on Saturday.
Totally.
Let me ask you this. This may be a little out there, but do you think this messes with his near-term, long-term career? Because I do.
Yeah. There's an argument for both sides. I think he, like many great professional athletes over the years, are probably in the, top 99.9 percentile about compartmentalizing. And we saw him be able to do that on Friday, where, as you mentioned, it was just pure adrenaline. And speaking as somebody that has been detained multiple times in my college years, sometimes.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I had a good run there I had a good run there in the mean streets of Durham. But the point being, sometimes it's pure adrenaline when something like that happens to you. And then
like Shia LaBeouf, you remind me of that Shia LaBeouf, right?
I don't think that's a compliment.
No, but he gets going and he gets arrested.
He gets going. Yeah, he gets going.
It is a compliment. He's a fantastic actor. He's a handsome man.
Bingo card. Yeah. Well, listen, I don't booze anymore. I'm retired.
Okay.
But the point being is, for good reason. The point being is, you saw what
like, we need a show dedicated to this. Even me, and I'm an insane person.
Yeah,
I've never been arrested.
That'll be on the Wednesday premium show. But point being is, there's always a come down where, and these guys can say, this is another conversation I was having with a reporter the other day about this. These guys can say all that they want. I don't have social media. I don't read what anyone is talking about me. Bullshit. Okay. Some more than others are online, but
they are searching their names, baby. I know it.
100%. Yep. Okay. And Scottie had I'm not going to say it was predictable, because I'm never going to predict Scottie playing bad, but the combination of no guiding light of Ted Scott on the bag, he's a very routine based player, all of it hitting you at once without Ted Scott being that guiding light for you. It makes sense why there was a bit of an emotional come down.
When Scheffler hit that tee shot on the other side of the fence, I don't know if it was OB, certainly in the hazard, his fill-in caddy looked like he was going to puke.
Yeah,
like
the chaplain.
he's like, I have fucked. I do not want to be here right now. It's hole 6, and I have just ruined Scottie Scheffler.
So I think what Scottie has, to get back to your broader question, I think what Scottie has going for him is Meredith, right? Ted Scott back. I don't know how close Scottie lives to Colonial. I imagine this is a home bed week for him. I mean, I was surprised that, with a 4-week-old at home, he's playing, but I guess he's playing because
why are they doing these events like right after majors like this with this?
At least it's not signature. Like after the US Open, we get another signature event, which I don't understand at all. But I think that, I guess we could transition us into talking about DK. Like, you playing him this week? Like, where do you stand on a 13-2 Scottie?
No, listen, for the one thing that we talked about last week, the win pool was Bryson, Scottie, Rahm, who's bad. Brooks, who may be kid ceilinged out, right?
Yeah.
But our win pool did play out. I faded X at the very last minute, saying I think he said top 5 and not win, and then he wins. Good for him. It was pretty awesome. I genuinely think this plays negatively in the short term of his career. If you are, it doesn't matter if the charges may be dropped, if everything's going to be fine, you're innocent. If you're facing a felony in Kentucky, right? And your rain on June 3rd. That's not Scottie Scheffler, material.
Yeah, he was talking about like how he was shaking I mean, this is
He
a
would
guy.
be. You're in jail in Louisville.
Yeah. As it pertains to this week for Scottie, I haven't made a decision yet.
Okay.
I often have the balls to fade Scottie. I probably fade him more than that maybe the average person listening. I've had great weeks fading him. I've had not so great weeks playing him when he's won. I haven't made a judgment call on this week yet, but I will say I do think the Scottie Scheffler that we see at Colonial is going to be closer to the Scottie Scheffler that we saw on Sunday as opposed to Saturday.
Yeah.
It's a good golf course for him, and he will be at home, sleeping in his own bed, with his wife, with Ted Scott back, on a firm golf course with a low greens and regulation percentage.
That sentence needed a comma because you said he's sleeping with his wife and Ted Scott. Whatever you do.
Yes. Yeah. Some would say they're intertwined there at the hip.
No, I think this field is stacked. It's stacked. And I will say that I've had a huge change. We both have had a huge change of heart on Bryson, right? I think the science shtick is gone, the goofiness is gone, and now he's just sort of this alpha. He's yelling at fans who steal balls from kids, and he's absolutely the number one player, live tour coming to majors now, and it's not even close. And he's really giving people an excuse to go watch live. He's carrying the water for them right now. I wish he was back. I mean, I genuinely do. So I don't know. I mean, at the top, you've got Morikawa, you've got Spieth.
Wait, can I ask you one quick question on Bryson?
Sure.
Because I've asked multiple people this morning because I was thinking about this last night.
Yeah.
A straight up Bryson Scottie trade.
That's a great tweet, by the way. It was a great tweet.
Who hangs up? Purely hypothetical. I understand it, but just like who's a bigger asset right now?
I think the Scheffler side. I mean, Bryson.
You think Scheffler's the bigger asset?
No, I think the Scheffler team, or whoever wants to trade Scheffler, doesn't hang up. I think they want Bryson. I think Bryson is just he's a super brand, right? He's just this character, and he's kind of found himself a little bit without the goofy shit around him and all this, whatever his agents were trying to make him do and the science crap. He's done with it. He knew it wouldn't play. He's on social media. He realizes it's stupid. And then he has this video of attacking the guy who tried to steal a ball from a kid. I was like, oh, that's the guy. That's the guy I want. Yeah. And, I think the tour would walk from Kentucky to Colonial, to Fort Worth to get him back. Yeah. I think it was a great tweet. That's my side.
Over 500,000 new YouTube subscribers since January, over 8 million views on his YouTube videos. I mean, I cannot understate the impact that Bryson has on a younger generation, the collaborations that he's doing with, Good, that YouTube generation of
and we aren't live fans, right? And we are right. And so, I mean, like a Scottie Bryson showdown in major tournaments or big tournaments on the tour every week. Hell yeah.
Yeah. May get that at Pinehurst, to be honest with you. But the point being is, what Bryson, I know we make the joke, like, thank you for what you do online, Bryson. But I think the conversation of, even though, like, who do I think is better? Scottie. Who do I think is going to have a better career? Scottie. I don't think you can understate the impact that Bryson has had through social media on a younger generation, which I think professional golf should be leaning into further. And that actually is starting to now come through at these professional golf events. Like, another one of the people that I was talking to, the crowd, and Tony said the same thing. The crowds are completely behind Bryson at this
totally.
And I went to and I went to the PGA last year at Oak Hill. That wasn't totally the case yet, but how Bryson has leaned into social media and the younger generation over the last 12 months and completely changed his perception. Like, I bet Tony's kids were more excited to see Bryson than anyone else out there. And you could probably say that for many of the younger fans there. And I don't think you can put a price tag on that. Whereas I understand Scottie has the opportunity to go down as like one of the 12 best golfers ever. I still think it's an interesting conversation just because of that separate sphere that Bryson seems to have such a handle on right now.
Well, when you like, everyone in the golf content, and especially athletes in golf, have to take their licks, right? If you want some goofy architecture of a character, especially for attention-seeking purposes, early on, we all did this. Like, I mean, and he's earned it. I mean, he took so much shit, and rightfully so many times, but he held strong. He never wavered. And he's come out the other side and looks like an absolute hero. This guy's kind of iconic now in majors. Are you gonna fade him at the US Open? No.
Well, the other piece of it too is like it never, in the past, it never felt like Bryson was in on the joke, right? Like, it felt like we were kind of laughing at him. And now it actually feels like he operates with a lot more self-awareness. Like, it feels like he's in on the joke. I don't know if you caught this quote from his press conference, but he said, you know, at the end of the day, like, I'm an entertainer and social media has largely helped me understand that. And I try and play some good golf in between. And that quote was fascinating to me because can you imagine if somebody like Rory McIlroy said, I'm an entertainer and I try and play some good golf in between? We would absolutely murder the guy for his lack of competitive spirit. But the thing with Bryson is that he is probably the only guy doing it in golf right now that is able to toe the line of being this great entertainer and being, at the end of the day, understanding and having the self-awareness to know that golf is an entertainment product, and it's an entertainment product that they need people to watch, right? And he understands that better than maybe any player doing it right now.
You want people also that aren't self-important,
right? While also still being competitive as hell. Okay, so he's
and exciting
exciting.
Fucker, the 360 whatever drive, I forget what hole it was down the stretch.
17, yeah.
I'm like, he outdrove the field all week by a mile. I mean, that guy doing that under pressure. He's like, now, did I have an outright on him? Yeah, so I was excited to root him on. But here's Ricardo, by the way.
It's a good question, and I think Colonial is going to be super firm and fast. I mean, do we have any Dallas guys in the chat right now? Because I haven't done like a full weather forecast thing, but it just comes down to whether you guys have had a lot of.
Where's our DFS? We got 875 live viewers. Where's our RPS open position weather guy?
We're still taking resumes for that. But
16, Scotty.
Point being, Colonial is going to play firm and fast. Okay, we got to do a little bit of Colonial.
We got to go. Okay, so by the way, it's the Charles Schwab, and Charles Schwab is still around, right?
Yep.
Your family probably knows him, right?
He's got a.
Come on, he's like your uncle or something. He comes with your. You know Chuck.
Of course, I know Chuck. No, Chuck's he's got a great. I haven't been inside of it. But he's one of the, when you're watching Pebble Beach on TV and they cut into the massive mansions on the Monterey Cliffs, that's Chuck. Chuck has it's Chuck, it's Jim Nance, it's Joe Lacob, the Warriors owners. They all live on that stretch of Pebble Beach between 10 through 12. I've never been in the home though, so don't know Chuck personally.
By the way, Red Lobster, a former sponsor of ours, is now finally back.
What's going on with that?
We fucked it up. We fucked it up.
A couple of DMs like, hey, your promo code doesn't work there
The reason why is everyone went there and got free fucking bang bang shrimp.
What's going on?
All right, so decent contest this week on DraftKings. The top range and the rule last week I think worked out in the optimal. Max one of the 10K guys above. Finau Homa, Spieth, Morikawa, Scheffler. Morikawa looked good, just stalled down the stretch. Spieth, surprisingly better driver of the ball now, right?
Yeah.
Longer. It's his backyard. I can make a case for any of those guys. I can't make a case for Minwoo Lee. I think we exhausted what we could get out of him last week.
Yeah.
But do you see some sort of fatigue from a major and all the goings on last week coming into Colonial this week, or no?
Yeah.
Most of you guys played.
Yeah, I was thinking about this with Morikawa because I think this is a perfect golf course for Morikawa. This is the type of course that I would expect Morikawa to contend at every single year in terms of his approach play, his driving accuracy, his ability to shine on, shorter courses with smaller greens. So I'm monitoring the Morikawa situation closely. But there are a couple guys in the nines that I really like, and it's all just going to come down to building strategy, right? Like if you play Scottie at 13K, then I'm probably going to dip down to the high 8s as my second man in. And if I don't play Scottie, then I'm very most likely going to play Morikawa. And I gotta say, like, I don't want to give away all the good ones, but I'm a big fan of Brian Harman this week on this golf course.
He looked good. I forget it was the
day
he
hit
Friday. It was Friday. He looked great.
He hit his irons really well last week at PGA and putt well. And this is always going to be the golf course that Brian Harman is going to have a tremendous amount of success. I'm not comparing it by any means to the Open Championship that he won, but firm, fast driving accuracy, like those ball on the ground, like those are the types of setups that I think play well for Harman. Although Keith coming in the chat saying fair amount of rain coming in, to Colonial. So
Keith Stewart, there he is. Hi, Keith Stewart.
So check out the Wednesday shows. One of my favorite shows every week. So I don't know, maybe it's a little bit softer this week than we've seen in years past. The last 2 years at Colonial, it's a top 10 golf course on tour in terms of difficulty. It was won at 8 under par and 9 under par. And
we saw a lot,
really firm and fast. So,
and here's the thing: we saw a lot of flop leg last week. Did we not? I mean, guys like Rose out of nowhere, English, of course, back to it. You knew it. English is just going to jam you right in the ribs. I just think a lot of these guys at this point in their career play for majors. Maybe English not so much, but Rose certainly.
Yeah.
And then you're going to say, okay, Keith Mitchell, right? Keith Mitchell, Aubert and Keith Mitchell last week, I think were the most damaging, at least to me. But if you look at the feedback in the Discord, probably the same thing. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, Keith Mitchell. I got a lot of people on Adam Scott, which hand up on that one. The Justin Rose performance was kind of what I was thinking was going to happen with Adam Scott, and I picked the wrong guy.
But then you get Tom Kim out of nowhere, terrible all year, long driving course, complete early easiest fade for me, and then smashes.
Shout out Huey Mack for being on Lee Hodges.
Huey Mack, Lee Hodges, and credit to you and Huey Mack for sticking with Victor Hovland. You said it all year. This is Victor Hovland's course.
Wiley tried to compliment me. Wiley complimented Kyle first, I happened to be in the Discord at the time, and Wiley said, "Great call, Kyle, on Victor Hovland," even though those in the Discord know I have been touting Victor Hovland at this golf course for December.
And mind you, as I was typing out the second sentence compliment to Andy, Andy jumps in and gets pissed at me for not complimenting him.
Yeah, I thought Wiley's trying to not acknowledge my Victor Hovland takes and give it solely to Huey.
This is the supply that all of our guys in Discord need. I mean,
we just need love and validation.
That's it. That's all it is. Everyone, even Baba in his classroom right now. Hope your kids are still there.
Yeah, we just want you guys to tell us, hey, good pick, man. Good job this week. Anyway.
Well, that's the hourly membership. What's part of the contract is everyone in the Discord has to tell me I'm great every hour.
Yeah, so it's like when it strikes like every hour on the 16th minute of every hour, it's like, did you get your Wiley compliment in? Yeah.
Wiley is great. No, but then you've got Tom came out of nowhere. Sepp Straka disappointing. Keith Mitchell, that's the one, right? That's the one. The fart noise. What's up with that dude?
Yeah. Listen, man, cheap chalk at majors, and I fell into it, right? But you think about there were 3 guys in the 6K range that were above 10% in a lot of contests: Pendrith, Mitchell, Denny.
Right.
Adios, all of them. So you just cheap chalk is never a good idea. Cheap chalk at the Masters can work out because everyone has such a good idea of the golf course. Cheap chalk at a golf course that you've never seen before. Like, part of the reason why I think Mitchell didn't work out is I thought that this was going to be way more of a driving test that was going to penalize bad driving.
And then
and it was
soft greens putting.
Yeah, it's kind of a putting contest. Yeah. So
Mark Hubbard.
anyway.
I mean, Mark Hubbard, he nearly won this thing.
Yeah. Do you think he could play well again this week? Because I kind of like him at this.
He's playing great. He's playing great.
Yeah.
Not a bad price. I mean, Bo Hostler staring me in the face too at 7,500. I like Bez a little bit. I like a few of these guys that may not have played in the major last week. Cam Davis may be a permanent out for the Discord, for me, for you, for everyone. And shout out to Burmester. That's right, Myron Kid. This was not something that I was invested in, Myron, but a lot of our guys were, and he smashed.
Yeah, he did. Shout out to Huey Mack as well. Yeah.
That's maximum Huey Mack shout outs. We get him like 12.
We hit our quota on Huey Mack.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but for sure, Burmy, thank you, Kevin, for shouting out Keegs. That Keegs was good to us as well. Can I throw out to you the guys that I have starred in the 7s and 8s? And
go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to do them one by one, and I want you to give me thumbs up, thumbs down, or neutral.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Aaron Rye.
This?
Neutral is like, I could be talked into it. I'm not there yet.
No, what do I do with my hands? That's more important. Like this? Thumbs up?
Yeah, kind of like an even and in the middle.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead.
Aaron Rye, 7.8. Thumbs up. Okay. Daniel Berger, 7.8.
Absolutely. Look at that. 2 thumbs up.
Yep. Okay. Chris Kirk, 8.4.
Love. I'll never stop loving Chris Kirk.
Okay. You're hitting your thumbs up quota. So
okay.
I
know you're going to next. I'm going to be a thumbs down regardless.
Keegan, 8.1.
Keegan Bradley?
Yeah. Okay. It's really good last week. You've still got room for a couple more thumbs up. All right. Here's an interesting one that I actually really like this week coming off a miscut. Akshay, 7.9.
He's a good player, and I've got to get my mind around that. He's a thumbs up for me.
Okay. A couple more. Baz, 8.9. I wish he was a little cheaper.
I think he's too expensive. I think he's going to be super popular. The fact that you said him and our Discord was kind of talking about him, that gives me an early lean on ownership. I think Bez will come in pretty spicy. I'm surprised that somebody like Im not playing well, missed the cut last week, 9-4. Minwoo Lee, great week last week, but I think we've exhausted him, especially a course like this, 9.7. And Bez was the other one. I thought he was a little bit higher priced.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was the next one. There's like 2 or 3 more guys in the 8s I want to hit you with. Horschel, 8.8.
He's playing great, man.
Yeah,
this seems like a Horschel course to me.
Totally.
Great short game, not long, not super long. Yeah, kind of like a Kevin Na to me.
Yeah. What about Straka, 8.3 flop?
What happened to Straka last week?
I don't know. I didn't play him, but I know a lot of people were tilting their faces off with that.
He was a killer.
Yeah.
I think if it came down to a Travis Mooney Straka bounce back week, there's to be some flop legs.
I agree.
Keith was right on the Wednesday show, and Keith, if you're still here, credit to you. You said it'd be a putting contest. And it was. You had all the great putters draining them, except for Denny McCarthy.
Maverick
McNeely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was going to ask about Denny next. Like, I think this is in theory a good, yeah, we'll get there, Kyle. I thought in theory, this is a good Denny McCarthy price. Like, am I
Lot.
off on like how I think about Denny McCarthy compared to how others think about Denny McCarthy? I don't understand why he's 8.7
Like he's too low or too high?
high.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
understand why he's 8.7. That doesn't
Yeah.
make
No.
any
What
sense
was
to
he,
me.
5 or 6K last week? I'll tell you exactly
Yeah, it
what
was
he was.
6.3 last week, and I didn't get that. Everyone's saying that was a bad price. Is it a bad price?
Yeah, if Denny McCarthy misses a cut in a putting contest and now he's 2,400 more money at the
Yeah.
same type of field, I don't. I mean, but again, golf is fickle.
Yeah.
He'll be 3% owned at 8,700, and he'll
And
win.
smash. Yeah.
Smash.
Okay, last one,
Yeah.
Justin Rose.
Nah. Rose plays for majors. That's it.
Okay. Former winner at Colonial.
At this wealth point in his life, it's shown me enough. No form, terrible, and then nearly wins the PGA Championship. I remember him saying this at some point, or being told this at some point recently, that Rose is only playing for majors at this point in his career, and I'm just gonna bottle that up and drink it every time.
Yeah.
McNeely is playing way better, bigger hitter of the ball. We know he's a good putter. 7-7. That range, that Hubbard, McNeely, Berger, Rye, Taylor Moore, still sub 8 out.
Can we talk Glover too? Our guy, like Glover hasn't missed a cut since like the 90s.
No,
It's like
that
the
whole
best
7
wedge
range is
player in this field.
Hostler,
Yeah.
Shank. Shank was second last year, right?
But my boy Ekra making a top 20 for us at the PGA at 5.7.
Yeah. Højgaard and majors, Cam Davis never. Lee Hodges still, Griot down there, Hasastune.
Hotstone, yeah.
Hotstone, Eric Cole and Brandon Todd. I'll get sucked into that. There's a ton to love there. A ton. Taylor Moore, yeah. How do you go Denny McCarthy 8-7 and Taylor Moore sub 8? And Taylor Moore had a week last week.
I don't understand it one bit. Denny doesn't even have good course history here either. Now all the Denny slander is probably going to smash this week. But yeah, Taylor Moore, we're back in a red state. I mean, there are
Kentucky's a red state.
Kentucky's a red state, right?
Oh yeah,
always, right?
Always.
Okay. Sometimes Taylor Moore will get you in the purple ones because he feels like it's a proving ground too. So you got to be careful for him anywhere, kind of. Yeah, I mean, if you want to get a little bit lower, I really like the defending champion at 7.1. Griot always plays well on this golf course. Grayson Sigg, my guy at 6.9. If you're diving deep into those Myrtle Beach stats like I am, Grayson Sigg just doing some provocative things on approach.
I remember Bowditch played with Sigg on the Corn Ferry Tour, and he told me to flex that Sigg is one guy to watch out for. He said he loved his game. Plus, he's kind of an old school bruiser, just a big, John Daly type dude. Just
Wiley catching up in his flex count with
I thought
having friends, B having friends that are professional golfers. Yeah.
And drinking San Pellegrino, right? And that's 2 flexes right there.
I've also gotten hit with the flex for the water that you can buy at the Equinox. They charge like 10x what a water should be.
Oh, it's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, because I forgot my water bottle going into the gym, and so they kill you on the Earth Bar water. It's unbelievable.
Just drink from the fountain. I got to get this in here. It's a national sponsor thing. Okay, wait. I talked about this in our Discord this morning, and on previous shows that you and I have done, I said, and this is never say die bourbon, right? This is the rarest stuff that you can get. It's award-winning. It's becoming the bourbon du jour in Lexington, Kentucky, where a lot of these stories start out. It's excellent, and my friend distills it, and they are a big fan of RPS. I said on a show, go to their website, neversaydiebourbon.com, I believe, I said, just put your shit in there and comment RPS, and one of you will get a bottle of this. This is bottle 91. And you know what? The distiller, Brian Luffman, Lexington, good friend, Flex. Flex. He calls me this morning. He says, you know what I'm going to do? I said, what? He said, I drove to Cincinnati to my distiller, and I'm going to give everyone who signed up a bottle of this.
Oh,
and he said, I'm going to personally email all your RPS people, and then I'm going to sign a bottle and deliver it to them. These are $200 on the aftermarket right now. Yeah. He's going to give you he's going to give all the people who signed up at neversaydibourbon.com previously, when I told them to, and always listen to the prez, he's going to mail them a bottle. That's fuckers. That's $500.
That's unbelievable.
That's this incredible. Was unsolicited. This is not a marketing pitch. That is how you do it. So do it. Now he's going to do it again. Maybe not to everyone, but if you go to neversaydibourbon.com, put your stuff in, use code RPS, or just type in the word RPS somewhere. He'll get it.
At the website, right? So this
at the website. He's not going to do it again. I said, are you sure you want to do this? This is going to cost you a fortune. He's like, I want to do it because I love you guys.
That's incredible.
Go. Sorry, go ahead.
It's awesome. No notes. But the bourbon, from what I've heard, many sources at this point, like I mentioned, I've been out in the game in the bourbon streets for a while, but I've heard it's unbelievable. Okay, so winner this week for you.
I want to say Berger. I don't think he's ready yet, but he's close.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A guy like Hubbard could do it. I love Chris Kirk. Does it come from the big guns? I really think that Spieth is there-ish.
Getting there. He hit his irons better at the PGA. There's a really comfy spot for him.
I think, can you imagine if he wins this week, what his ownership will be? Well, it's too far out. But
well, let me ask you this question. So if I gave you Colin, Homa, Spieth, is Spieth your favorite in that three ball? So I think I'm still going Colin.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I don't mind. Yeah. You know what? What's the stat? The guys who made the most cuts in majors, or most top tens or something, it was Colin and Scheffler.
Yeah. Xander's probably in there too, I'd imagine.
He said the best performance in majors. So just always play Colin Morikawa in majors. And the guys who've never missed cuts are Hideki, Tyrrell Hatton, and Patrick Reed.
Yeah.
They just never make missed cuts.
Yeah.
I don't mind the Colin Morikawa play. Only the little bit of disappointment that he kind of just went neutral on Sunday. I think he had it in his crosshairs.
It's a bad Sunday, man. It's really disappointing watching him. It's just like kind of a bummer. He made like 18 straight pars.
Yeah.
Just didn't have it.
It's a tough course.
Two-time major winner, you forgive him, but it just
fear the post.
Fear the post. It's a good bet for us to keep going. Like anytime there's a Valhalla or Colonial has the horrible horseshoe whole names. Like we need more whole name branding that doesn't make sense. Like it's almost a better branding if you market it like incorrectly. Like Fear the Post for a hole that plays as one of the easiest holes on the golf course is objectively hilarious.
Yeah, I would love that, to be self-aware for a golf course instead of be too hoity-toity. Call it like call the 18th at Colonial the dirty hot dog. And people are like, well, why? Like, oh, you don't get it.
So I'm all in on Fear the Post as a bit going forward.
Who's your winner?
Harman. I'm going Brian Harman this week. Yeah, I think it's a good spot for him. I really liked his iron play at Valhalla. He's played well here in the past. He's got 8 top 30s and 11 appearances. He likes firmer golf courses with small greens. I like Brian Harman a lot this week.
Brian likes firm and small. That's fine. You like it. You like that. I said in the Discord, and I'm still hammering it. One of one still thinks I'm serious. There's never been a good golfer with the last name H or the first name Sam.
Or EY, right? Like NNY.
Nothing.
You also got to be careful with. Ease. Yeah.
I don't mind. Yeah, I like Brian Harmon. He looked good. I mean, I really need to start taking up for Brian Harmon because I want to say he's terrible, but he's a good iron player, and he held his own with Scottie Scheffler. How many lip outs did he have on Friday?
Yeah, right. Harmon's playing good golf right now. I've got a lot of respect for his game at the moment. So,
who's not playing good golf right now? Who are we just other than some of the live tour guys like Rahm? Who's just Sam Burns?
Well,
Sam Burns.
I was thinking about this as it pertains to this week because we didn't get to talk about him, but man, it feels like every time Sungjae takes one step forward, he takes two steps backwards. Like it's just so hard to get a gauge on. I know you're closer with Willie than I am. It just feels like it feels like it's tough to get and find any sort of real consistent forward momentum with him at the moment this year.
And he's pricey, right?
Yeah. Like right now, why is Sungjae $1,200 more expensive than Tom Kim? Tom Kim just finished top 20 at a major, and Sungjae missed a cut.
Sungjae in many of these events recently, and even the Wells Fargo, he was 7,900. He was 7,300 at the Heritage, and now he's 94, and he missed the cut last week. That's what I don't understand. Right? Mm-hmm. I know they're following the betting market, but why did the betting market open with him at 9,400? I mean, he should be 7. He should be down. He should be down in the McNeely Burger range at best, in my opinion.
I'm with you, or at least the Chris Kirk range, and Tom Kim and Keegan Bradley range. I'm with you 100%.
And like Robert McIntyre's 7K. Robert McIntyre almost won last week. Cam Davis should be zero. Michael Block is here. I just cannot.
Did you see they did a whole feature on him at the PGA? He got they stopped the coverage on, I think this was Saturday. They stopped showing golf shots for a solid 3 to 7 minutes to do a whole feature on Michael Block.
This is what you don't get about the disconnect between what people believe people want to watch. Like there's a whole contingent of people saying this Block content is going to smash. I mean, Corbridge did a commercial with him, which is fine. Now, you saw that commercial 1,000 times, right?
Yeah.
Should they have had lip balm on him? Yes. Like a little moisturizer underneath the eyes? Sure. Which I'm doing right now. But yeah, I mean, the guy didn't even finish. He didn't qualify in the PGA of America tournament that gets him in.
No.
Right? Which if I was a guy ahead of him who didn't get in, I'd be like, fuck that.
Yeah. No, it goes back to the he gave a quote in a recent interview where, he said, I was talking to DJ Colin and he just said, take advantage of this opportunity, say yes to everything. And I think our boy Block took that a little too literally. I don't blame him either though. I mean, you want to talk about maximizing your 15 minutes.
Listen,
like
bro,
he 10x'd.
If they're throwing him money, take him. Take it. I'm not blaming him at all. I would take it. I think there's a disconnect with the content folks who put this stuff together and what the audience is receptive to, which shocker, it's golf. It's always the worst. I mean, the ESPN bet content, we can do a whole show on that.
Yeah.
We could do a whole show on your arrest record.
That one's behind the paywall for sure.
All right. There you go. I like the picks. I like Morikawa. I like Spieth. Spieth needs a win. He needs a win. He needs to get back in. And I think it'll drive him at the US Open, and I think it'll drive him at the Open Championship. We need a good Spieth. Good Spieth is like great Bryson.
Yeah.
They're entertaining as hell.
Yeah. All right, buddy. I will we'll do it next week. See ya.
Yeah, we're just dumping 1,000 viewers live. We get to sit here for another 3 hours, but we won't. Join RPS. Code Wiley77.